Okay, good day to every one of us. Guys, students, we are now on our fourth week of our lesson in general mathematics. And this is the last lesson for function. So these are the learning competencies that so far we've tackled. And now we are down to our fourth competencies under function, which is solves problems involving functions. It is somehow similar with our first learning competency, but then in here, we will be able to apply evaluating function and as well as performing the operations involving functions. While in our competency one, what we did was just to represent, to formulate, to construct a function equation for a particular problem. So these are the lessons that um, we will be discussing, and we are now down to our fourth topic. So first, as a recall in evaluating an operation and function, let us have an example. It is better or it is a must to recall this part of our lesson because if ever, no, if in case you still do not know how to evaluate a function, how to solve problems, perform operations on function, it will be very hard for you to move on in our lesson, which is the problem solving under function. Ayan. So as an example, let us have here f of x equals x squared plus 3x minus 5, wherein we are given the value of x as 2. So in our example, in our given, the value of x is 2, and what are we going to do is just to substitute. Papalitan lamang natin yung mga value ni x sa ating given example, just like what we did last time. Okay? So the answer will be 5, and I as kumbaga tingnan niyo ito as an exercise, Try nyong i-solve kung 5 na din ba ang lalabas kapag ito ay sinolve ninyo. So how about this one? We've discussed this example number 2 in operation on function, and try to solve this one, and tingnan kung ang lalabas din ba na sagot ninyo is negative 1/2. And if in case na hindi ganoon yung lumabas sa inyo, try to go back to our previous lessons, try to rewatch our previous lessons so that you will be able to understand yung ating mga naging topic sa general mathematics. Okay. Okay, now let us move on to our lesson for today, which is about problem solving involving function. Now, for this example, we can see here that ang hinahanap dito ay yung gagawa tayo ng function wherein we represent the cost of buying face mask na ang per box ay 65 pesos. Ngayon, kung mapapansin nyo, there is indeed a significant a role of function in our daily lives. But kasi, unknowingly, na-apply na pala natin siya sa ating pang-araw-araw na buhay. Halimbawa, isa ka sa, sabihin na natin na tindera, or meron kang fund, gusto mo mag-business, and then you have a certain amount, tapos your business is about, ganyan nga, sa face mask. And then, involved doon ang function kasi how much face mask yung mabibili mo given yung pondo na meron ka or given yung money na meron ka, di ba? Now, it is very important for us to understand that na-apply natin siya. Because unless we understand it, talagang minsan tatama rin tayo na aralin yung function. Now, for this given number 1, katulad nga ng sabi ko kanina, ang hinahanap dyan is yung function na kung saan ay hinahanap yung total cost ng pagbili ng face mask given that each face mask costs 65 pesos. Now, this is the function equation for this problem. That is C of x, or the cost of buying face mask, is equal to 65x. Bakit ganito yung itsura ng function natin? Kasi 'di ba ang tinatanong natin is yung cost, magkano yung face mask na mabibili. And to determine that, we have to multiply kung ilang face mask ba in the first place ang bibilin. 'Di ba? Given that each face mask costs 65 pesos. Ayan. Now we have this number 2. According to this example, a commuter pays 9 pesos for a jeepney fare for the first 5 kilometer and an additional 75 cents every succeeding distance d in kilometer. Represent the situation as function. Once again, we are asked to formulate an equation. Okay, formulate a function relative to our example number 2. If you will remember our lesson in piecewise function, we've discussed how to formulate an equation involving many formulas. Kasi, 'di ba, meron tayong mga problem na kung saan kinakailangan lang ng isang formula or isang equation given a domain, 'di ba? Merong domain na involved. And meron din part na tinatawag tayong piecewise function na kung saan maraming formula ang involved kasi iba't iba ang equation natin in different domains. Halimbawa, through yung ating equation for a certain domain like 0 to 5, mga ganyan, and then sa value ng x natin greater than 5 ay iba na ulit hindi na siya true doon sa una, pero iba na ulit yung kanyang magiging equation. So, paano ba yung sinasabi ko? Ito yon. Ayan, as a solution, we have this one. Kasi ang sabi dito sa ating problem, 9 pesos yung binabayaran ng commuter sa unang 5 kilometro. Kaya we have the first equation or formula in our domain from 0 to 5. Meaning to say, fixed na 9 pesos ang babayaran ni commuter kung ang distansya lang na lalakbayan niya ay mula greater than 0, ibig sabihin, syempre, pag umandar na yung sasakyan, and less than or equal to 5. Meaning to say, hanggang 5 kilometers lamang na 9 pesos. And to our second formula, meron tayong domain na greater than 5 na yung involved ng ating equation. Kasi kung mapapansin nyo dyan, yung atin ng formula becomes 9 plus 75 cents multiplied by d minus 5 if the distance traveled is greater than 5. Kung lumagpas na sa 5 kilometro yung distansya ng pagko-commute niya. So, bakit ngayon naka-minus sa 5? Ito kaya siya naka-minus sa 5 because 9 pesos lang yung bayad niya sa unang 5 kilometro at nadadagdagan yon ng 75 cents kada lumalagpas siya. So, halimbawa, naging 5.3 na siya o kaya naman 5.8. Basta lumagpas siya sa 5 kilometro, meaning to say, may additional na agad yon na 75 cents. So, kaya naka-minus si 5 kasi, like what the problem tells us, na 9 pesos nga lang hanggang 5. Kung sakali kasi na hindi natin i-minus sa 5, ibig bang sabihin nun, kahit sa unang 5 kilometro, magbabayad tayo ng 75 cents? Diba hindi naman? Yun lang mga sobra sa 5 kilometro. That's why we have to minus the total distance minus 5. Ayan, i-evaluate pa natin ito. I-simplify natin yung formula 2 natin. So, from here, let us distribute si 0.75 sa nakamultiply sa kanya. That is d minus 5. So, rewrite lang natin si 9 and then multiply si 0.75 times d, which we have now 0.75d. And then multiply once again 0.75 times negative 5, we get negative 3.75. And then next is combined terms. Diba? Napag-aralan naman natin ito sa operation on function na kung saan pinagko-combine natin yung similar terms, yung common terms na halimbawa, pag puro constant, so sama-sama sila. Pag puro ang variable ay may exponent na 1, so sila naman ang sama-sama. And for this particular example, we can see that we can combine 9 and negative 3.75. And all we have to do is to rewrite 0.75d kasi wala naman siyang common term or kaparehas na term. Doing so, we will get 0.75d plus 5.25. Therefore, kung makikita nyo sa naka-or na part dyan, sa right side, we now have our second equation or second formula in our second domain, that is 0.75d plus 5.25. Okay? Ayan, let us have another problem. Sabi dito, Miguel is a senior high school student who commutes from home to school which is 15 kilometers apart. There are two modes of transportation. The first one is through jeep and the other one is through tricycle. So si Miguel, pumapasok siya and the distance between his home to his school is 15 kilometers. And now, meron siyang two choices on how he can go to school. The first one is to ride a jeep wherein ang bayad or ang fare charge is 9 pesos for the first 4 kilometer and meron additional na 75 cents for each additional kilometer. So, medyo related ito, di ba, sa ating naunang example. And the difference is just the first domain na yung kanina for the first 5 kilometers, but for this example, we have for the first 4 kilometers. But however, if ever Miguel chose to ride a tricycle, ang babayaran niya is 10 peso for the first kilometer. Ibig sabihin, sa unang kilometro, 10 piso agad. And piso ang dagdag kada kilometrong madadagdag. Okay, now, question number 1, sabi dyan, if you are Miguel and decided to ride in a jeepney, how much will be your fare? So, una, para masagot natin to kung magkano yung ating magagastos, let us first have a table. Ayan, so sa 0 to 4 kilometers, 9 pesos lang ang babayaran. So, sa 5 kilometer, syempre may dagdag na additional 75 cents. Kasi sabi dyan, pagkatapos ng 4 na kilometro, meron ng fare charge na 75 cents. Eh, paano pa pag nag-6 na kilometro na? Of course, dalawang 75 cents na ang madadagdag. And so on and so forth hanggang makarating siya sa 15 kilometers. We can notice here, therefore, that our function in Formula 1, that is 9 peso ang kanyang babayaran if the distance is greater than 0. Syempre, pagka umandar na yung sasakyan, diba? Tsaka pa lang naman tayo nagbabayad. If D is greater than 0 and less than or equal to 4. Meaning to say, hanggang 4 na kilometro na 9 pesos. Next one is we have 9 plus 0.75 multiplied by d minus 4 if our distance traveled is greater than 4. Again, kaya tayo nagma-minus ng 4, it is because kada sumusobra lang kasi tayo or once na sumobra na kasi tayo sa 4 kilometers, doon pa lang tayo magkakaroon ng additional charge. Kaya naman naka-minus si distance natin sa 4. And just like what we did kanina, if we will simplify yung formula 2 natin, yung nasa ibaba, we will get 0.75 multiplied by the distance plus 6 if the distance traveled is greater than 4. Ayan. Now that we have already created the formula or the function for this particular problem, malalaman na natin na kung magkano ba yung magiging charge, yung babayaran ni Miguel kung pinili niya na jeep ang sasakyan niya, given na 15 kilometers yung kailangan niyang i-travel. So, syempre, sino ba ang gagamitin natin in the first place sa equation? Is it yung Formula 1, yung 9, if D is greater than 0 but less than or equal to 4? Or the latter part, which is 0.75D plus 6? Of course, the latter part dahil yung distance natin ay greater than 4. Ilan ba kasi ang distance nga na sinasabi dito? That is 15 kilometers mula bahay ni Miguel hanggang school. Ang 15 ay mas malaki sa 4. Kaya yun ang kukunin natin. Doon natin ngayon isa-substitute si 15 kilometers. Ayan. So, if we substitute 15 to the function that we created, we will have this one. Ayan, palitan lang natin lahat ng d, ng 15. And if we evaluate, pag pinag-multiply natin si 0.75 multiplied by 15, we will get 11.25 plus 6. So, ang suma total na babayaran ni Miguel kapag siya ay sumakay sa jeep, that is 75 pesos and 25 cents. Ayan. So, the next question will be, papaano naman daw kung si Miguel mismo, mas gusto niya sumakay sa tricycle o kaya naman, nagdesisyon si Miguel na tricycle na lang ang sakyan kasi probably siksikan sa jeep, mga ganyan. So, let us first create a function equation for fair ride sa tricycle para mas madali natin ding masosolve. So, sabi doon, 10 peso sa unang kilometro. That's why our distance on the Formula 1, sa upper part ng ating piecewise function, that is 10 if the distance traveled is greater than 0 but less than or equal to 1. Hanggang 1 kilometer lang. And then, we have now this one. 10 plus 1 kilometer, 1 peso rather, kaya may nakamultiply na 1 sa ibaba. And then d minus 1 multiplied by d minus 1. So again, ba't naka-minus si 1? Kasi, yung may charge lang naman is kapag lumagpas na tayo ng 1 kilometro. So if we simplify this one, syempre 1 lang naman yung nakamultiply sa labas. Kaya d minus 1 lang din yan, di ba? So after simplifying yung d minus 1, magkakaroon tayo ng 10 plus d minus 1. Ang mapagko-combine natin na like terms doon ay si positive 10 and si negative 1. And 10 minus 1 is 9. So, on the right side of the function, makikita nyo dyan that yung formula 2 natin sa ating piecewise function became d plus 9 if the distance traveled is greater than 1. Now, again, ano ba ang appropriate na gamitin natin? Is it the Formula 1 or Formula 2? As we can see, that is the Formula 2 since the distance that will be traveled is 15 kilometers which is greater than 1. Pag greater than 1, di ba, ang equation na natin na gagamitin ay yung nasa ibabang part ng piecewise function. So, getting the equation, the second equation from our piecewise, we have this one, P of D equals D plus 9. And, of course, we substitute yung distance na kinakailangan natin, that is 15 kilometers. So, substituting 15 on the function that we formulated, we get P of 15 equals 15 plus 9. And the total is 24. So, kung mapapansin natin, if ever that Miguel chose to ride jeepney, of course, thrifty si Miguel. Nagtitipid siya. Hindi naman rather nagtitipid, pero wais siya sa paggamit ng pera. Dahil kung saan nga naman kasi makakatipid, dun tayo. 'Di ba? Lalo na kung medyo, halimbawa, pwede pa naman sa jeep. 'Di ba? Makisiksik tayo sa jeep. Now, the next question is there any advantage in riding a jeepney instead of tricycle? Or riding a tricycle instead of jeepney? What would it be? I will leave that question to you sa palagay ninyo. Diba? I believe that some of you, if not all, you are a commuter noong face-to-face pa whenever nagta-travel kayo from your school to home. So, and we all know as well that traveling via jeepney is cheaper than traveling via tricycle kasi mas mahal talaga ang fare charge. So, If in case, what do you think is the advantage of riding a jeepney compared to tricycle? And the other way around, what is the advantage of riding a tricycle instead of jeepney? Ayan, the next question is, if you are Miguel, which between the two modes of transportation will you choose and why? Again, I will leave that as a question to you. Now let us have this another problem. Sabi dito, a proposed light rail transit system line 1 or LRT1 fare would charge 18 peso for the first 4 stations and 5 peso for each additional station over the proposed fare. And what we are asked to do is to find the fare function f of x, where x represents the number of stations traveled. It is, again, the same as what we did sa mga nauna natin. Yung sa jeepney, sa tricycle. So, same lang din yung process na gagawin natin dito. Yung kailangan nating maintindihan, yung problem muna before we construct a function. Kasi mahalaga, Kasi if ever na hindi natin nauunawaan yung problem, magkakaroon tayo ng problema kapag nag-create na tayo ng equation. Sabi dito, 18 pesos yung bayad sa unang 4 na station. Tsaka palang nagkakaroon ng dagdag kapag lumagpas na doon. And we are asked to formulate a fare function. And given ang ating fare function f of x. So we have this constructed function wherein we have f of x equals for our domain 1 or formula 1. We have 18 peso if x or yung na-travel na station is mula greater than 0 but less than or equal to 4. Ibig sabihin, syempre, pag umandar na yung ating LRT, hanggang 4 na station, 18 pesos ang babayaran. And for our formula 2, we have 18 plus 5 multiplied by x minus 4 if x is greater than 4. Again, we multiply 5 kasi yun yung additional fare kapag nagpas na tayo sa unang 4 na station. And kaya tayo nag-minus ng 4 kasi yung meron lang namang plus 5 ay yung lalagpas or pagka nakalagpas ka na rather sa unang 4 na station. Okay, of course, if we will simplify yung ating formula for 2 sa ating piecewise function, we will get 5 multiplied by x, that is 5x. And positive 5 times negative 4, we will get negative 20. Kasi, di ba, multiplying unlike sign is automatically a negative. That's why positive 5 times negative 4, that is negative 20. And the next part is to combine like terms. Yung mga magkakamuka, na po pwede nating pagsama-samahin. And that is 18, positive 18 and negative 20. Bakit ba naging negative 2 na lang siya? Remember, in operation on function, that if the numbers that we add or subtract have different signs, just like this one, positive yung isa, negative yung isa. So, unlike sign, ang ginagawa natin is pinagmaminus natin and we copy the sign of the bigger number. And what is bigger number? Is it 18 or 20? And we know that 20 is the bigger number and its sign is negative. That's why we got negative 2. So, syempre, pagka inire-write ulit natin yung ating function, yung ating piecewise function specifically, we get sa dulo na part yung na-evaluate na natin or na-simplify natin. That is 5x minus 2 if x is greater than 4. Ayan. The next question is find the proposed fare for 15 stations. So, papaano daw kung halimbawa 15 stations yung kailangan mong i-travel, magkano yung iyong babayaran? So, we have this, of course, ano bang gagamitin natin na formula? Is it yung 1, yung upper, or yung latter part ng ating piecewise function, yung nasa ibaba? Siyempre, yung nasa ibaba. Kasi we have 15 stations eh. And yung formula natin for the lower part is pagka greater than 4 na yung station na travel. Eh, syempre, we know that 15 is of course greater than 4. Kaya gagamitin natin si pangalawang formula. And we substitute yung ating given na x which is 15 and by evaluating function lesson 2 we substitute 15 sa mga x and 5 times 15 we have 75 minus 2 we get 73 pesos. Now what if 20 stations naman? The same, we will get the formula 2 and substitute the value of x as 20 and simplify or evaluate. We have 5 times 20 that is 100. 100 minus 2 that is 98 pesos. Okay, let us have another problem. Sabi dito, Lucena Network charges 450 pesos monthly cable connection fee plus 130 pesos for each hour of pay-per-view event, regardless of a full hour or a fraction of an hour. Now, find payment function f of x, where x represents the number of PPV hours. Okay, so sabi dyan, katulad lang yan sa mga nauna, 450 yung fixed na binabayaran para sa cable. Pero, nagkakaroon ng karagdagan every 100, ng 130 pesos kada manonood siya for each hour na, pay-per-view na tinatawag natin na manonood. Ngayon, ang tinatanong is, mag-construct tayo ng function that will be best representation or that will best represent the given problem that we have. So we know, katulad ng sabi ko, 450, that is the fixed monthly cable fee. Kahit na manood ka man, yung PPV na tinatawag natin, fixed na babayaran mo si 450. But kapag halimbawa, nanood ka noong yung tinatawag na natin na pay-per-view, yung magbabayad ka kada manonood ka, syempre may karagdagan na 130 pesos. And yung X natin is yung number of PPV hours in a month. Kung ilan yung makukonsumo mo, na oras kada pay-per-view. Kaya naman nakamultiply yung ating 130 kay X. Kasi hindi naman natin alam ilang oras yung makukonsume natin. Ang sinasabi dito na additional is 130. So, from here, we get this function. For this one, hindi na ito piecewise function. Bakit? Kasi halimbawa, hindi ka nanood ng yung tinatawag natin na magbabayad ka kada manonood, which is yung PPV. Kung hindi ka nanood, edi magiging 0 lang yung X natin. So, 450. Tama lang, di ba? Hindi natin kinakailangan ng madaming domain or ng madaming formula. Kundi, fixed na we have this one, 450 plus 130x. Or the x here, where the x here is the number of hours per pay-per-view. Now, the next question, what is the monthly bill of a customer who watched 25 hours of PPV events? Ayan, halimbawa, given yung ating formulated na function, tapos 25 hours siya nanood na sa loob ng isang buwan. Magkano kaya ang kanyang total na babayaran? So, syempre, isa-substitute lamang natin yung value ng ating given na x, which is 25. So, from here, from f of x equals 450 plus 130x, palitan lang natin si x ng 25. And, of course, we evaluate. 130 times 25, we get 3,250. And we add 450. Ito yung monthly na fixed na binabayaran ni customer. So, adding the two, we get 3,700. So, yan yung babayaran ni customer kapag nanood siya ng 25 hours in a month ng pay-per-view. Okay, next is, sabi dito, What is the monthly bill of a customer who watched 0.5 hour of PPV events? Eto hindi pa siya nakakaisang oras. 'Di ba? So, magkano kaya ang kanyang babayaran? Pero, kung mapapansin nyo kasi dito sa ating problem, sabi dyan, 130 for each hour of pay-per-view event regardless of a full hour or a fraction of an hour. Kahit na daw matapos mo yung isang oras na nanonood ka, basta nasimulan mo siya, halimbawa, katulad niyan, 20 minutes ka palang halimbawa na nanonood, ang count nun ay 1 hour na sa babayaran mo. So, katulad nito, kalahating oras pa lang siya nanonood. Sabi, regardless kung fraction or full hour ka bang nanonood, ang count na agad ng 0.5 is 1. Kasi, kahit daw matapos mo yung isang oras or hindi, basta nasimulan mo siya, automatic magbabayad ka ng 130 pesos. Kaya naman, si X palitan natin ng 1, so we get 130 times 1, that is just 130. And adding the 2, we get 580 pesos ang babayaran. Ayan, in your modules, you can see in the part of what I can do a financial plan. And this will serve as your performance task, Na kung saan kayo mismo mag-iisip kayo ng, halimbawa, a-attend kayo ng booth fair. So, iisipin nyo, anong product yung isi-sell ninyo, 'di ba? And meron naman diyaang instructions. But for this one, we have the product, the description of the product, yung ano ba yung ibebenta ninyo, ano yung goal ninyo, magkano capital nyo, how much is the fixed cost and the variable cost, and provide a profit function. Pero, para hindi kayo malito, let us have an example of this. Ayan, halimbawa, ang product na inyong pipiliin ay kalaburon. Kunyari lamang ito it is just an example, Kayo mismo ang gagawa ng sa sarili ninyong financial plan. This is just an example. So, description of product, ibig sabihin kasi ng kalaburon ay kalabasang pulburon. Now, the goal is to have a profit of 10,000. Ang capital is, or ang original na tawag dito, na money, yung pondo na tinatawag natin ay 10,000. And to double the profit, yun yung goal ng, halimbawa if, tawag dito, nung may business na to ng kalaburon. Kaya nga ang gusto niya maging profit ay 20,000. We have fixed cost and variable cost. Yung tinatawag natin na fixed cost, katulad ng description dyan, sabi dyan is, remains the same regardless of whether goods or services are produced or not. Ibig sabihin lamang nito, ito yung mga raw, for example, na halimbawa, bumili ka na ng kalabasa, bumili ka na ng pambalot, and so on. So, these are the fixed cost. Kasi, kahit na hindi ka makapag-produce ng goods, hindi mo magawang pulburon yung kalabasa mo, meron kang babayaran. And yung variable cost naman na tinatawag natin, ito naman yung relative sa ilang goods na yun na produce mo. For example, sa pag-produce mo ng 50 kalaburon, magkano yung naging expense natin, magkano yung nagastos. Ayan. So, halimbawa, we have here, ayan, yung fixed cost and variable cost natin is 5,000. And we have, for example, 1,000 number of goods. Halimbawa lang. And so now, we know that profit is revenue minus expense. Meaning to say, ito yung overall na nakuha mong pera. Hindi mo pa imina-minus yung nagastos mo. Ibig sabihin, ito yung napagbentahan mo. Ito yung napagbentahan mo. And then the expense, of course, yan yung nagastos mo. And let x para makabuo tayo ng profit function, magkaroon tayo ng mag-assign tayo ng variables. We have here x, which represents the price of the goods per piece. Yung presyo ng kalaboron mo bawat isa. And let p of x, ito na yung function natin. Yung p of x be our profit. Now, we get this one. We have p of x equals 1,000x minus 10,000. So, bakit naging ganito? Kasi, di ba, revenue, yaan yung napagbentahan natin. Ano? Halimbawa nga, katulad ng sinabi ko, meron kang 50 kalaboron, tapos nabenta mo yun lahat. Tapos, magkano yun kada per price? So, we have 1,000 multiplied by x, yung presyo ng kalaboron mo, minus 10,000. Kasi, katulad ng sabi natin, profit is revenue minus expense. At ang expense natin, ang nagastos natin, is ang total niya ay 10,000 from the fixed cost and variable cost. Now, let us equate this, with 20,000. Bakit? Kasi, according doon sa goal natin, ay dapat ang maging profit natin or kita natin ay 20,000. Para malaman natin magkano ang ipepresyo natin sa bawat piraso ng kalaboron para maging 20,000 yung kita natin. So, from here, we solve for x. Ilipat natin, si negative 10,000 sa left side. We will get 30,000 equals 1,000x. And of course, to get the value of x alone, na yung x lang yung matitira sa kabilang side natin, i-divide natin both sides by 1,000. So that we can cancel 1,000 and ang matitira na nga lang ay x. And pag divide natin si 30,000 sa 1,000, we will get 30 pesos. Meaning to say, kapag ang presyo ng kalaboron natin ay 30 pesos isa, maa-achieve natin yung goal na 20,000 ang ating kita. Okay, right now, papaano kasi kung halimbawa, ang presyong sinabi mo or inassign mo sa iyong kalaboron ay 5 piso lang kada isa. So, from the profit function, kanina na meron tayo, let us substitute yung palitan natin si x, gawin nating 5. Solving this one, we will get negative 5,000. So, nag-negative, ibig sabihin, pag 5 piso, yung ipinresyo mo lamang doon sa iyong kalaboron, wala kang magiging kita. But you have a loss. Big sabihin, malulugi ka. But what if 10 pesos yung napagdesisyonan mo na presyo ng kalaboron? So, substituting 10 sa ating x, variable x, we get this one, 10,000 minus 10,000. Wala kang magiging kita, no profit. Kumbaga, nakuha mo lang yung iyong capital. Or nakuha mo lang din yung naging gastos mo. Na, kumbaga, ay sakto lamang, Wala man lang naging kita yung pagod mo. Wala lahat yun, kundi bumalik ka lang. Kumbaga, inilaro mo lang yung pera, nag-produce ka lang, and then meron ka lang ulit 10,000, just like before. But what if yung ating presyo na ginawa ay 15 pesos? So, substituting 15 from the equation or function that we formulated, we get 1,000 times 15. We get 15,000. And then, minus 10,000, we get 5,000. So, 5,000 yung iyong naging kita, pero hindi na doble. Kasi ang goal nga natin is ma-double yung kita natin. Na-double ba? 10,000 yung ating expense. Mayroon bang pagka-doble doon? Kulang pa. 5,000 lang kasi ang naging kita mo. And now, yung sa na-compute natin kanina, check natin if it is true that for 30 pesos each of kalaburon, ay dodoble ang iyong kita. So, from here, substituting 30 sa ating x, we get 30,000 minus 10,000 and the answer will be 20,000. So, tama, ano? Tama yung ating na-formulate na function dahil na doble yung ating kita. Naging 20,000 from our capital na 10,000. Ngayon, ganito yung gagawin ninyo. Similar to this, na ipapakita nyo din kailan kayo magkakaroon ng loss, kailan kayo magkakaroon ng no profit, kailan kayo magkakaroon ng profit not doubled, and profit doubled. This is just an example once again, ano? Ayokong makikita na similar yung pera na 20,000 parehas, tapos 10,000. Yung similar yung value pero naiba lang yung inyong product. Dahil I want you to formulate yung sarili ninyo. Ano? Yung kayo mismo ang may gawa. So now, we have this one, yung ating profit function. We get P of X equals 1,000X minus 10,000. And if our X, based sa kanina, di ba, na mga inano natin, yung inisa-isa natin kanina. So, ganito yung gagawin nyo ha. Sa mga iba't ibang sinolve natin na nag-set tayo ng value from 5, 10, 15, and 30. So, nakita natin that if our X is greater than or equal to 0 but less than 10, we have a loss. Siyempre, pag equal to 0, ibig sabihin, libre lang na ibinigay mo yon sa mga customers mo. Hanggang 10, meron tayong loss. Kapag 10 yung ating presyo ng kalaburon, wala tayong kita. Kapag ang ating kalaburon, ginawa nating greater than 10 yung presyo but less than 30, may profit tayo pero hindi doble. And if X or the price of our kalaburon is 30 pesos, our profit will be doubled. So, ganito, nakikita ninyo, nakagawa tayo ng piecewise function. That from here, we have this different domain. So, iyan ang inyong gagawin para sa activity sa module What I Can Do. And that will be all for our lesson in Module 4, the last lesson for function. And if you have questions, do not be afraid or do not be shy to comment down below so that we can answer all your queries with regards to our lesson for this week. Thank you.